Okay, so a lot of artists do not like image gen. The reason why is super important, so let's break it down. I'm hearing two main arguments from the artistic community around why image generation is really, really bad. The first one is purely economic. Being able to replace a creative photo shoot that would have cost $1 million with something that can be entered in with a text prompt for a fraction of the cost is inherently bad for artists because it reduces the total amount of capital that is going to be spent on artistic endeavors in the economy. Therefore, that is a very negative impact to creatives. Totally get that, totally hear that. I think that's super valid. But the second argument I'm really struggling with, which is this more human argument that art is inherently a human endeavor and replacing it with AI is an insult to art and to the artistic community. I think that any true artist, any true creative knows that they have no choice but to make. You don't have an option. It's like that's your way of being in the world. You probably have been making stuff and expressing yourself with art or other creative endeavors. Like me, was making videos since you were a kid, and you physically cannot exist in the world any other way. It would feel like being chained. Creatives gon' create. So it's hard for me to hear that argument from other artists and think that that's not them like trying to low-key gatekeep their craft. If AI image generation tools unlock somebody else's ability to express themselves creatively, that is not a threat to your ability to express yourself creatively. If somebody else goes on image gen to make gorgeous AI photographs, that does not impede on your ability to get your camera if you're a photographer and go out and take real photos. If selling your art is how you put food on the table, I'm not talking about that situation right now. I think if there are economic concerns, that's entirely valid. I'm very specifically talking to the folks who don't use art to pay their bills, but are still really hurt and scared and upset about the fact that, you know, AI image generation is now a thing and it's producing things that look very similar or identical to what we have historically called art. I think a philosophical question about whether or not it actually is art is a very interesting one, but saying that the use of AI image generation tools is a insult to art itself is an oversimplification and kind of gatekeepy. That's my take. What do you think?